Hi there, I'm Miller for Basically Burgundy, and today I have a few really easy DIY gift ideas that you can use for Christmas or really just any time of year, and they are very affordable and very fun, and they can be left pretty plain if you don't know the person that well, or they can be really customizable for someone that you know really well. So without any further ado, let's jump straight into the first one. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to make these pretty little picture gift bags, and they are very customizable, so you can do whatever you want with them. So the first thing you're going to need is you're going to take whatever kind of stuffing you want. It can be like tree ornaments, or it can be cotton, or whatever you want. And since I'm using the tree ornaments, I pulled them apart so they're in smaller chunks, and then I mixed the two colors together. So then I took a plastic bag, and with the pictures already inside, I just took the stuffing and put it in between the two pictures. Now this is a picture of me and Haida when we did the blindfolded makeup challenge, which I never edited and uploaded for some reason. And I can't show you what's on the other side because she would kill me if you saw that picture. But anyway, I just added a few little paper stars in there with some candy. And then I peeled off the top parts where the glue is. But if you don't have a sealable bag, that's perfectly fine. You can use whatever because we're going to staple it shut later anyway. And the next thing I did was I took some pattern paper. Now you can use pattern paper of whatever kind you want. I'm going for a little mustache pattern paper here. Or if you don't have that, you can also use just normal paper and then draw on it. And then just fold it in half, cut it to size, and staple it down. And I think this looks really cute, and it looks really sort of professional, if you get what I'm saying. And then I just wrote a little tag, like who's it from and who it's for, and I taped it down. And this is another one that I made, which is the same thing. I added some stuffing and some little paper stars and some candy. But for the picture, I just rolled them together and put a little bow on them and just stuffed them in like that. Now the second gift that I'm going to show you is this really pretty alternative to just a framed picture, and that is using a glass jar as a little display frame. So what I did is I took some pictures, and I'm making this one for my dad, so it's obviously pictures of me and my dad, and I made sure that the pictures were the right height for the jar that I'm using, and I sort of cut them down a bit at the top and bottom so they would fit. And then I just put them inside and make sure they didn't overlap. And then I took some more stuffing, again you can use whatever you want, and then I added that and again some paper stars. So the next thing I did was I modified the lid of the jar because I really didn't like the green, but it was the only one that I found in the store. And I did that by just taking some glitter paper sheets, and these have an adhesive back, but if you don't, that's totally fine. You can just add some glue in the end. So I traced around the lid, and then I cut out that circle shape. It's pretty simple. And then I just peeled off the back, and then I stuck it on, and it's such a strong glue, and I messed up so many times, but in the end I got it there. And then I just took another really long strip of that same glitter paper, and I just put it all around the lid to cover the rest of the green. And then there was some more green sticking out, so I just took some normal rope and some glue, and I put it on the seam where the two glitter parts meet to make it all look a bit more clean. And I don't know, I think I really like the rustic look with the rope, and I think my dad will really like it. I recommend using any type of press glue that dries clear, so you don't have little white parts sticking out everywhere. So for the third gift, the main thing you're going to need is a frame. Now you can find an old frame in any thrift store. If you don't already have one, I just pulled this one out of my attic, and you can leave it the way it is, but I wanted to color it. So I took some blue acrylic paint, and then I went over it in a few layers, though I didn't want to cover it completely, so I left it a bit sheer so that you can see the wood underneath. And then if you're impatient like me, then just dry it with a hairdryer. Okay, so then you want to take some rope and measure how loosely you want it to fit across the frame. And now to secure this, I tried using craft glue and all-purpose glue and super glue and nothing worked. So in the end, I just took some duct tape and I ducked it down. And I think a hot glue gun would work really well. So if you have that, feel free to use it. But I didn't have one, so I just stuck with duct tape and it held on pretty well. And then just do the same on the other side and make sure that you sort of decide in advance where you want to position the rope, just so in the end you don't have it like too close or too loose or whatever. And then I just wrote a bunch of little notes that I was going to hang on the frame, and then collecting all the pictures and memories that I wanted and taking some clips. I first decided where I wanted everything to go, and I think this is just such a cool gift. And I also put some extra clips on there just as a sign that she can add whatever she wants to that frame. Now this fourth one I really like, and it's basically a decorated cork board. And I'm doing this for a friend who is absolutely obsessed with glitter. So for this, the main thing I'm going to be using is these glitter sheets again. And they're sort of foamy sheets, if that makes any sense. And they all have an adhesive back, but once again, if yours don't have, you can just put some glue on, and you don't need to use glitter paper at all. You can just use pattern paper or normal paper or like styrofoam or whatever you think the person that you're giving this to will like. So the first thing I wanted to make was write out her name. So I just flipped the paper around and took a little pencil and started sketching out the letters. Keep in mind, if you're doing this with the paper flipped around, you have to mirror all the letters. So your R's have to go on the opposite side, and every other letter that's not symmetrical, it needs to be mirrored so that when you cut it up and flip it out the right way around, it's going to be that letter and not be mirrored. And then I just used little cuticle cutter scissors because they were really precise and small, and they were perfect for cutting out all these little letters. So then I just arranged how I wanted everything to look, and I started peeling off the backs and sticking the letters and shapes on one by one. Once again, if you don't have an adhesive back, you can just use some glue, it's no biggie. And yeah, I just did some hearts also, and I just repeated the same process for them, and you'll also see some other shapes. And yeah, I was just thinking about, the things she liked. Once again, she's obsessed with glitter, so that's the main thing that I used. And then I took another one of those plastic bags and I filled it up with some paper stars and some candy, and I closed it the same way I did in the first little DIY. And I'm just going to, pin it to the cork bar with another few notes, and I hope she's going to like it. If you want to know how to make these little paper stars, I have a video tutorial uploaded on how to make those. And it's going to be linked below, and there's going to be a card up right now or an annotation or whatever, so just go there and check it out if you don't know how to make them. And that is it. Those are my 4 DIY last minute Christmas gift ideas. If you do recreate any of those, please do tweet me a picture or tag me on Instagram or whatever, but I really would like to see if you recreated any of these. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing holiday season, whatever you're celebrating. And that is it. I will see you all in my next video.